day, everybody. How you doing today? Are you staying warm? I hope so. For those of you who don't know, I'm Rhonda, and you're watching A Taste of Country, Nana Style. Now, I live in North Carolina near the Danville, Virginia state line. And I don't think that the precipitation is going anywhere. And from what they're telling us on the TV is we're going to get some more snow tomorrow. And, well, what can you do about it? Just prepare. I'll just be glad when springtime gets here, is all I can tell you. But anyway, like I said, I hope you all are doing well. And if you're in a cold climate, stay warm. Fix you a good old bowl of hot soup or something and just relax. Randy has been telling me that he's been wanting some oatmeal raisin cookies. Now, the only oatmeal cookies that I can remember ever making was the no-bake peanut butter oatmeal cookies. And I do have a video of that recipe if you want to watch it. But I was reading this recipe and I have measured everything precisely. She said the biggest mistake that we make with oatmeal cookies is we either overmix it, overbake it, or we don't put enough fat in the recipe. So, like I said, I measured everything to the T. And this recipe calls for molasses. She says, do not use black molasses. She said her favorite is the grandma's molasses. I'm sure any molasses is fine as long as you don't use the blackstrap. I don't know much about blackstrap molasses, but I will research that. And this recipe is supposed to make, according to her, 20 to 30 cookies. And when you're getting ready to roll your cookies out or scoop them out, she said do a 2 tablespoon and, roll it into a ball. So we'll get to that. You want to chill your dough 30 minutes to 1 hour if you're afraid that they're going to spread. And the recipe also calls for softened butter. Well, my butter didn't really soften, so I put it in a pot and let it melt, and it's starting to, solidify some, so I think it'll be softened enough, because it's cold, as we all know. So let's get to this recipe, all right? Now, she said that you could use dark brown sugar or light brown sugar. Either one you wanted to use would be fine. So we've got 1 cup of packed brown sugar. And this is just where I wash this. Sorry. So that's 1 cup of packed light brown sugar. And then we've got 1/4 of a cup of granulated sugar. Now you can use your mixer if you want to. And you want to mix that up really good. Now, a lot of people don't know this, but sugar is considered a wet ingredient. It's not a dry ingredient. Reason being because if you heat it, it will melt. So it's considered a wet ingredient. In a lot of recipes, you can mix up your sugar and flour together, but some recipes like this one, you can't do it. So we got those 2 sugars combined. And then we're going to add our 1½ teaspoon of vanilla. Now, I've got some vanilla bean paste and some regular vanilla extract in there. Just because I just wanted to do that. And then we have one tablespoon of the molasses. Now, I watched on TV, it said that if you spray your measuring spoon and whatever with a little bit of cooking spray, that your molasses will slide right out of your dish. So let's see if that happens. Well, it doesn't stick as bad as it would. Let's see. And I sprayed it. Well, it come out better than I thought it would. At least it didn't stick bad. Okay. And now we've got to add our butter. Boy, it hardened. I just melted this, and look how it's hardened up like that already. I must have it too cold in the house. Randy says I freeze him. Now that's 2 sticks of butter. Room temperature or really softened. Like I said, I melted mine and it didn't take but a minute to get back solid. All right. And then you want to get your sugar and your butter incorporated. And she said you want to mix this for 2 or 3 minutes. So I'm going to mix this for 2 or 3 minutes and I'll be back. Now you want to add your eggs. And that's 2 room temperature eggs. Room temperature eggs. And something else I wanted to tell you. Oh, soak your raisins in hot water for about 10 minutes. But I didn't really have to soak mine that long because I buy the sun-made raisins. And they are very moist. They're not really, they're not hard. But I just soaked them for a few minutes and then I drained them and just patted them dry with a paper towel. And that's 1 cup of raisins. So now we got to mix up our eggs with this for 1 to 2 minutes. And I'll be back. Okay, so see how that looks? It almost looks like the butter is broken, but it's not. It'll be fine. All right. Now, we're going to set this aside. And in a separate bowl, we've got our dry ingredients, which is, like I said, you got to have 1 2/3 cup. I don't know if I said that or not. Maybe I didn't. 1 2/3 cup of all-purpose flour. And you got to have 1/2 teaspoon of salt. 1 teaspoon, I'm sorry, of baking soda. And you got to have 1, I'm sorry, I'm trying to read my recipe, guys. 1 1/2 teaspoon of cinnamon, ground cinnamon. And then you want to just stir that up. Mix it really well. And I meant to tell you also that we need to put our raisins in our wet mixture and mix them up. And that's 1 cup. And I guess you could add more if you wanted to. And you can also add some nuts. That's optional. I think she said walnuts was really good in this. And I'm not sure how much of the nuts she said put in it because I wasn't, because I didn't have any walnuts, so I didn't even do it. But I would think that maybe 1/4 of a cup of walnuts, or ever how much you want. Now with the rolled oats, you have to have 3 cups, and it says whole rolled oats. Well, the only thing I've got is quick oats. And it said you can use those, and it would just be a little bit of a finer texture. That's fine. But you can use whole rolled oats or quick oats. You just want to mix that up. And that's it. And then you combine these together, and then we're going to chill the dough. Gonna chill it. Oh, I left a little bit of baking soda in that. I didn't mean to. Okay. Alrighty. Now we're going to combine these. And I'm just gonna go ahead and add my wet to my dry because that bowl's bigger than this bowl. And like I said, you can definitely use your mixer. You sure can. Alrighty, now here we go. And just fold it in. We don't want to overmix it. She said don't do it. So we're going to gently just get all that incorporated. That's one reason I didn't use my mixer, because I didn't want to overmix it. I thought, by hand would be, a lot easier and more gentle. I bet some chocolate chips would be good in this, but he didn't want nothing like that. And you just want to mix it until you don't see any dry ingredients. She said, make sure you scrape the side of your bowl. So I don't see any more flour. Alrighty. Now, as you can tell, this is not, it needs to be chilled. Because she said it would spread. And plus of the way I had to do my butter, it needs to solidify a little bit more. So I'm gonna pop this in the refrigerator for maybe 30 minutes to an hour, and then we'll come back and we will bake some. Okay? Stay with me now. Okay, I let my dough chill for about an hour, and it's pretty stiff. You can freeze this dough up to 3 months. You can store it in the refrigerator up to 1 week. Now, if you chill it overnight, she says let the dough sit out about 20 minutes before rolling it out, cutting it, or scooping it into balls. She said do 2 tablespoon size balls, is what she said. And I can't remember if she said press them, but I'm gonna do this first batch and see how it turns out. Preheat my oven to 350, and I will be back as soon as I get them baked. Okay, I baked these about 12 minutes. Let's see how they do. Gotta bake some more. They're pretty much the same size. They smell really wonderful. I think I'm gonna... They don't smell burnt. I think I'll bake the next round about 10 minutes and see how that does. They're good. Now, I'm a chocolate chip cookie fan. They're good. They're chewy, soft. We'll see. All right, let me get my next batch in. Now, if you want them a little bit more gooier, is that a word? Bake them 10 minutes. Because we like ours a little gooey. You can see the difference. And this is 12 to 13 minutes, and this is 10 minutes, and it's still a little gooey in the middle. That's up to you. I like the 10-minute cookie. So you can decide, and I hope that you make these, and I will put the recipe in the description box, and I'm going to go give Randy a couple of these, and I hope that he likes them. And I appreciate you watching. If you haven't, think about subscribing and sharing. I'm trying to reach 1,000. And I'm gonna have a big giveaway too. So thank you so much and have a wonderful day, and I'll see you later. I'm gonna cook some pork chops, I think, for dinner. I'll see you next time on Taste of Country.